Hi everyone. Well, it's Thursday, running late, but I'm here. Throughout December, there's going to be a few that I'm not though, because I'm going to be working there a bit short at work. So I thought I'd pop in and say hello, and I thought I'd talk ribbons today. I've noticed that a few people have asked me about tying my bows, how I tie my bows, all that sort of stuff. What do I use to secure them? So we've got quite a few beautiful ribbons, and I thought I'd show you what I do with some of them. You know, that you can colour them, lots of different things. So I just let a few people get on and have a sticky. But yeah, I'm Courtney, and welcome to my Hooray, It's Thursday live. Oh, there is another reason why I'm using ribbons is because I've done a scrapbook page using all ribbons. And I probably should go and pull it down. So come for a walk with me. Excuse my mess, because you're going to get to see more mess than you normally would get to see. Yes, that was my Christmas tree that you saw up there. I'll just pull my scrapbook page out. It's going live in an hour on my blog. And hi Cheryl, how you going? Okay, so I pulled it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this baby around so that you can see it. So you're all going to get a sneak peek of my page for this week's blog hop. And yeah, so all right, let's go. You have to wait while I hook it in. But this is my page. So I'm putting shadows on it at the minute. So you'll see I've got lots of pretty ribbons, lots of stamps, lots of bling all the way around. But there's ribbon here, like Cheryl wouldn't recognise it. She's only relatively new. But like every colour of the rainbow. Okay, see this other twine. And look at this one, it's crinkly. So I can show you how I coloured some of that. So I'm just going to pop this into the machine. Oh, I didn't bring my heat gun, so I'll just grab it. I'm not set up to watch comments or anything like that. So I just thought, oh, I'll just whack it and I'll just go live. So let me just grab the heat gun. I'll be 1 sec. And I will just because there's something I want to show you with one of the ribbons because it's really cool. I'm not sure if any of you tried doing it, where you can actually make it all crinkly. Okay, so with this page I've used lots of different ribbons. The majority of them, actually, probably very much the majority of them are retired. So and in saying that, they're all being retired doesn't make them, you can still use them, but I didn't have enough colours. And I didn't have enough purples, I didn't have enough greens. So what I found was that I had to, I was really quite, all right, Cheryl, we'll see you when you get back. I didn't have enough greens and I didn't have enough purples and the colours that I wanted to use. So I had to come up with a way to get more colours. So I coloured my ribbon. So that's what I'm going to show you, how some of the things that I did. So look, there's one of that velvet one. I don't know, Sharon might remember that if she's around. So yeah, so that's my page. So you all get a bit of a sneak peek of my page. And yeah, it's not sitting in the middle, is it? But yeah, so there's more photos on my blog that's going live at 4 o'clock. Okay. It's a pretty photo. It's a nice photo of Mum and I. Okay. All right, so I'll just pop that to the side because that's not actually what I came to show you. So I've got so many ribbons. So many ribbons. That's why my desk is messy with ribbons today. Ribbons, twine, trim, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So when you come to ribbons and twine and trim, there's quite a variety. So we've got some seam binding ribbon. It's soft, it's crinkly, and it's very, very flexible. We've got this one here. I love this one here. This is a metallic one. You can colour that. You can colour that with our blends. Okay, and it's very spider webbery, for want of a better word. Right down, oh, this one here. This one's a bit stiffer. This is our black glittered organdy ribbon. So there's 2 pages of ribbon. So I'll just move all of these to the side because I've just grabbed them and made a big mess with them on my table. 2 pages in the current catalogue with the ribbon, and there's extra ones in the new like in the Christmas catalogue or holiday catalogue, and there'll be some more in the JJ catalogue. We've got our linen thread. Used to come flat, but now comes on a spool. We've got these Simply Elegant trims. These ones here, they're very pretty. Again, you can colour, this one here you can colour with the dark colours of the blends. That one there, you can colour with just about any colour. I've only got a little bit of the white part of the Baker's Twine left. I've used the rest of those. Double-sided ribbon. Maeve's sneaking past it. It's like she knows. So you see how that one's 2 different colours? One colour one side, one colour the other. Maeve might make some magic and make it so that I can see if people are commenting on here. So, but she's not going to turn the volume up. This one here is our very vanilla lace. Look at that, isn't that pretty? All right. And I do love this one. This is out of our, this is the Fine Art ribbon. And look, I've actually coloured it a little bit with some Night of Navy blends. So it's blue. All right.
How did you balance this?
I balanced that there very precariously so I could see. That looks good. This is a sheer ribbon. This one, this ribbon here is called our Open Weave ribbon. It comes in every colour with the latest in colours are in. So, you know, there's the evergreen one. But the Pale Papaya, I've had great success in colouring that. A lot of the darker colours. Okay, just saying. So I'll keep that one aside. We're going to play with that. This one here, which is our Petal Pink one, I've got a piece here that I'd used for something else. Watch. Wow, they're dodgy scissors. Very, very dodgy scissors. They won't even cut. Oh, yep, they are cutting the ribbon. So this ribbon here, this is fun. The ribbons are, they're polyester. So 100% polyester. That one, well, this one in particular is 100% polyester. It does tell you on them. This one here is nylon, so that'll do the same thing. This one here, this one feels nylon, but it's actually polyester. So the polyester will do the same thing. So I'm just going to move the catalogue out of the way. I do have a card to make and show you what I'm doing. But watch this. One heat gun. Let's add a bit of padding so that I don't burn my plastic mat. Oh, and by the way, you can't put your foam mats under the heat gun because your foam mats go shrivel as well. So I don't want to burn my finger. Okay. I see Sharon's there watching. Sharon, have you done this before? Doesn't want to play nice. Gotcha. Move your fingers, Maplicious. Right. You'll see it starts to crinkle up as the heat gun gets hot. Whoop. And run away. Hold on. Hold it down. Maybe he's going to hold the other end for me. See how it crinkles up? I'll give you a heads up. Keep your... I'll give you the heads up. Keep your heat gun moving, otherwise you'll just burn holes in it. All right? And it becomes quite stiff. Or if you prefer it in this is ruffled ribbon that comes actually already ruffled. See? Almost the same. Same but different. So, you know, so there's lots of different things you can do with them, but I'll keep this piece here for now. What I've got, I've just pulled out some very quick Christmas cards. Okay, so I really love this paper. All right, so I've just got my bases, had them prepared earlier from something else, so I'm just going to do one of each. I love this paper. Maybe he's going to pass me this so I can tell you the name of the paper. Oops. This is the Sweet Stockings paper, which I've used once before with you guys when I did a one sheet wonder bit. Okay, so I love the puppy dogs. I've thieved from the back of my mats for my circles so that I can actually just put a circle on each one. Maybe you're going to have to wait, Maeve. I've got my adhesive. That's ready. So I'm literally just going to stamp and stick. Okay? And he's going to go on there. So you can't, nobody can tell that there's a hole in the bottom. See? Perfect. Why did I turn that over? I have no idea. Okay? So what I'll do, let's put this one together first. Because, alright, so I think it was, I actually think it was Sharon's watching, and I think it was her that actually asked a couple of weeks ago, how did I do that bow? So I thought, I'm going to come and show you a couple of ways I do bows. Okay, so I'll just stick these together. Got to hold my tongue right, and because I haven't used my multi-purpose glue, so I can't pause it, Maeve.
I know. Can I make something without interrupting?
You can make stuff as long as it's not noisy, Maeve. Does all your family all do that like that?
I'm making spinach and feta triangles.
Spinach and feta triangles. Does anyone else want a spinach and feta triangle?
I'm not making enough to feed the whole neighbourhood, Mum.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Afternoon tea is sorted. Okay. So I've just put my bases on. I'll put them on. I'll stick them on my bases after. So I'm just going to stick these up here. Okay. These need, I mean, this pretty ribbon's going to work. It would always work. This is another ribbon that I really like. I wouldn't recolor this one. How would I tie a bow? There's a couple of different ways I tie a bow with this ribbon. Let's do one first. If I'm tying a bow on here, and I want, because this is going to, I think I really want that doggy. As much as I think that cat's cute, I'm going to put my sentiment here. Okay? And if I wanted a bow here, I can either tie a bow around a block, or I can tie a bow around my cardstock. You may see people do this, but I find I end up with bent card, okay, and it curls up. So instead of doing that, I will try and pick a block that's at least, it's got to be half the size of my piece of card. So this block's not actually big enough for this piece of card front. So, whereas this one, the size C, you can see how it's wider, so it will fit. Right? This, you can tie it around a spritzer if you wanted to, and tie your bow and trim it, but you would actually have to, you would need it to be going onto a small piece. Okay, so it depends. So like if you were putting a bow around the end here, you get away with a spritzer easily. Probably even get away with a pencil or one of our markers. Don't know why I put that up. One of our markers, because that's about half. All right, but for the purpose of this video, I have my block. I'm going to literally wrap my ribbon around my block and tie a bow. You'll notice that I haven't actually untied it from my spool because I find that I don't waste very much. I need a little bit more. All right. I keep telling my ladies to hold their tongue right when they're doing this. So make a bunny, go around, stick the next one through the tunnel. And there you go, I have a bow. Notice this ribbon phrase. We could play with that another time. All right, another time. So And there I have a bow. I think I need a new pair of scissors. Those ones aren't very sharp. I did get some new ones. There's one bow on a block. Okay? To put that onto my card, I would actually take it off the block, work out where I want it to sit, and snip. So it's got to go around that corner. If I'm wanting it to sit approximately there, then I've got to make sure that ribbon can go around, over to the back, loop around the back of the piece of cardstock so I can adhere it, because I don't want fray ribbon out there. So I'm going to cut it approximately here, so that then when I pull it through, it's going to go, it's bigger than my block, it's bigger than my card front, and it's going to get, there's enough room for me to adhere it at the back. Okay, so that's one. The other thing I can do is, if I want my ribbon to go across here, I can turn it over, put a little bit of adhesive here and a little bit of adhesive here. Oops, didn't mean to pull my ribbon across. Ribbon across there, ribbon across here. Snip it off. Nice and flat, but see, it's still quite very loose. Back around there, baby. Okay. That's too loose still. Come on. The seal doesn't want to hold it today. It must be too damp in the air. And then, and you'll get to know which way works best. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe this way. Let's go this way. I want to do, it's more or less a bit like teaching kids to tie their shoelaces. 2 bunny ears. It's easier with the thinner ribbons. Across and under, what do they say, through the burrow, and then pull it. Alright. And I wanted both of my ends to sit down the bottom. The beauty about this bow is that I can move it, I can grab it, all its bits, and I can actually send it to wherever I want. So I could sit on the other side essentially if I wanted to. So then I could put my sentiment on this side, and I could have my cat peeking out, which is actually pretty cute too. So I might do that. Alright, so I can move it. And I know a few people that will love a card with a doggy tangled in some lights. So I'm actually going to leave this one on here. I'll save the other ribbon, this bow for later. Look at that mess. Can't have that nonsense. But the beauty about that one is you can actually turn it up the other way. You can, right? So that one was made on the block. Okay. So then I'll be able to stamp my sentiment on here and stick it on my card, and I'll have a very nice card. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but there's no old olive, or there's very little old olive ribbon in the catalogue. This goes okay, but it's not really correct. And if you tie it, you're going to get one side or the other. So what I found with this is to get it so that the same colour is on both loops of the bow, you have to do the bow like so. So literally 2 bunny ears across, and then you have your bow, and you'll end up with both of my loops the same colour on a double-sided coloured ribbon. Or, this is where we're going to have some fun. You can, oh see, I love this, isn't this pretty? Anyway, you can pull out your pale papaya ribbon. You can do it on your gold as well. You could do it on your lace. You could do it on, I'll show you a little bit on the gold. There's my lace. Yep. I've got too many bits of ribbon on my bench. So I've got an extra piece of, let's turn this over because that's last week's class. Last week's when I attempted to do a video and didn't press record. Can't believe that. Yep, so I've got Old Olive blends. I've actually got 2 dark ones here, and I've got my cherry cobbler because that's the 2 colours that are in there. You can colour it with the water-based ink. You can colour things with, you can colour the ribbon with your blending brushes. What happened to the other is? And the water-based inks. But it's very subtle. See what I mean? That ink's been on there, ooh, good couple of weeks. Because there's so much moisture in the air, it still works. Gives a nice 2-tone effect if you only do one side, but you can actually do both sides. Works on the baker's twine as well. Or you can colour with, you can colour straight up with the markers. I did bring some markers. I've got the Stampin' Light markers are here. You can colour straight up with those. Where's the cherry cobbler? And then you have to wait for it to dry. But like I said, that ink's been on there a couple of weeks and it's still damp. So you may find that you end up with very messy fingers. But it still colours very, very nicely. Alright? But you have to let it dry. Okay? Baker's twine. You have to aim correctly. But again, you have to let it dry. You can dip it in re-inker. If you've got re-inker, you can stain it that way and dip it in re-inker. But I find colouring it in just as easy. This one, just colour them in. And then you can wait for them to dry. But look, watch this. Still wet, see? But you have to wait for them to dry. So I do find, and yet be gentle with your tips if you're doing that, okay? Because your tips can get a bit, how's your father? If I wanted, I really think that there's probably too much Old Olive on that, but we'll see. Okay, so, see, this is the pale papaya, and look how nicely it comes up with the Old Olive Stampin' Blends. How gorgeous is that? That's going to work beautiful. No one, except you and I, would know that that was pale papaya ribbon before. The gold. And now I've essentially got gold sparkly ribbon. That's going to look very nice on my card. Don't have to do the back, but you can. And the ink from the markers dries really fast. Okay? So, I'm thinking it's going to be a matter of which one do we... Oh, yeah, I wanted to show you this one here. On the lace trim. That's in on the lace trim. Look how dark it makes that twine. How glorious is that? And again, it dries really fast. What you will notice is that this ribbon, it sort of stiffens it a little bit. Not too much, it's still quite soft, but as it dries. Here we go. I'm not going to open, this is one of my packs for my class on the weekend, so I'm not going to pull that out. The girls will get to play with that. This one here, oh, wrong end. This is just our regular twine. You could just go, pop it in. I like the Stampin' Blends because they dry really fast, but they do stiffen it just a wee bit. Alright, Just be aware of that. Essentially the only colour you can't make this one is white. Alright. There's a couple of different ways to do our ribbons. I like with the twine, you've seen me use it a couple of times. I like to roll it around my hands and make it so that it's like messy, almost like a messy bun, but it's a messy circle. I'm not sure if anyone realises that you can do this with it. I should colour the rest of it in before I do what I'm about to do. Come on, just colour that in. Okay. So when I colour that in, give it a bit of shake, let it dry a bit. There's actually, I think it's 3, or is it 4 strands here? 3. There's 3 strands of thread. It's a bit like, I don't know if anyone is an embroiderer, but it's a bit like DMC stranded cotton. You can unthread it. So it does take a little bit of effort, but essentially you can pull it all apart and it gives you a really cool messy circle if you're folding it around. But this one of course is now not going to play nice for me. Because this fibre is not even, for want of a better word. There you go, 1. And the second, these ones just come apart heaps easier. 2, 3. And then, yeah, I'll just make them messy. And stick a bit of tape under it, stick your sentiment over the top, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, so this one, let's use this. That way. Okay, so on this card here, I'm actually going to adhere this to my base, just because I've run out. That was like twice. I think last time I ran out. Take that bit off. Don't need that bit. I didn't bring a replacement over to the table with me. I'm not going to get up again because, yeah, I've got some tear tape here. So just hold my tongue right and put that on there. These little puppies are rather cute. And it doesn't need to be that long. About there. Okay, so just pull in my Merry Christmas. This fits in this circle perfectly. This is from the Holly Jolly Wishes set. I'll just grab this one. Lots of fun sentiments. If anyone's been watching before as a regular, this is one of my favourites and you all know that. So I've just pulled out the Merry Christmas to you. And what I'm going to do, where is, here it is. Where's my old olive? Now, you can't colour your red rubber with your blends because you will permanently change colour. But you can colour it with the Stampin' Right markers. So, darkest colour first, which in this case is the Cherry Cobbler. We're just going to go over the Merry Christmas. Colour that in. We're going to hope that it works because I'm not doing it with the Stamparatus today. So everybody has to hope that the moisture in the air and my breath is going to be enough to convince this to stay wet and that I've got enough ink on here. Looks pretty good. And some old olive. Now I would normally do the lightest colour first, so I don't actually know why I did it that way around because I would normally do the green. or in this case the old olive first. Right, so old olive. Right, I'm going to huff very unceremoniously. See, fogged it all up. This fits just. Merry Christmas to you, how pretty. And because there's 2 stamps here, or two cards, because I can't only ever do one. Well, yes I can, but you know what I mean. Overachiever, just call me an overachiever. I want to do more than one thing at a time. Do my old olive first this time. Gosh, look at my desk. Do you know what? The rest of the desk looks exactly the same. Does anyone else have such messy desks? I know what I can get you all to do. Pop a photo of your desk in the bottom in the comments. That'll be fun. Okay. So that I don't feel so alone. Because I know a lot of people who crafted it. I love those memes that say, you know, a clean desk, a messy desk is a sign of a cluttered mind and all those sorts of things. And yeah, well, you know what I'm talking about. I love all that sort of stuff. Okay, huffing and puffing again. This one I'm going to move it up a little bit. And there's a really good thing about circles. It's definitely straight because it's a circle. Probably a little bit too far over to the right, but you know, them's the breaks. So that one's going to go on there. Okay, I just heard a car door. I'm thinking that there's no dimensionals on my table. Oh, yes they are. Look, here's some I prepared earlier. I've got some tear it tape. I'm just going to use it because there's not another one. And 2. What is that? There's something stuck under my tear it tape. Oh, it's a bit of last week's card. Well, my dear daughter's home. Didn't tell Eilish. Who, you would think after, what, 14 weeks, they would cotton on?
Do you do this every Thursday?
Yeah, every Thursday. Oh my gosh. Dad's home and he's hanging around outside. Oops, sorry, I just bumped your... Dad's home and he's even hanging around outside so he doesn't come in and disturb you, but not that kid. So I put a bit of tear it tape under these. And the reason why I'm putting it under these is because as much as I love dimensionals, I have a tendency not to put too lots of dimensionals on something, and I want the dimensionals under the colour bit. So the scalloped area. Oh, it's not playing nice today. Okay. Alright. And that one can go there. So my coloured ribbon that I prepared earlier is going to go here. What do I do with this? Alright, I need a vote. Is this too much? Or we're keeping the twine or ditching the twine? Because I'm just doing that. Could even stick that bit there, look. Doesn't look right. Alright, so twine or no twine, people? No twine. Or green twine. Okay, so we've got no twine at the moment, or we've got green twine. So I know that there's at least 3 of you watching because Facebook tells me. But everybody's very quiet, and if you're not careful, I'll have to pick myself. So I'll put that there while you say twine or no twine. And I'll get my cherry poplar one back. Nobody's answering me. Not feeling special. Come on. Okay. I'll give you a few more minutes to answer that. If you're watching on replay on my YouTube channel, that's because I'll upload this to YouTube later. Nobody's voting, but that's okay. Hi Chris, I can see you now. Look, Chris, I made this. Okay, so I'm trying to get everyone to vote on whether I'm putting this twine on or I'm not putting the twine on. What do you think? Okay. And while I'm doing that, I'm slowly peeling. So much faster with a stamp and seal. Look at the mess I'm making. And you guys can see my mess. That's no good. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, I've actually put some adhesive over the top of my ribbon. That's just going to help it be more secure. Make sure I've done my card in the right orientation. And there's that. Okay, stick that one down. And dimensionals. What I was just checking then was to make sure that I had it straight, for want of a better word, because I want to be able to, I want the ribbon to slide through here. Oh. So many pretty ribbons. Oh, there's my other one. And ta-da! So that ribbon was tied around and then tied straight on there. This one would have worked, but that's the way that I prefer to do them. Okay? So that's one card. Okay, so it looks like I'm the one that has to make the decision. The other thing that you can do is you can do it like so. A bit like a... If I was doing it like that, okay, all right. If I was doing it like that, which is what I'm going to do, I actually cut it, because otherwise you end up with a great big bend in it, and it's easier if you cut it. I would normally put a bit of snail there, or a bit of seal there, but I don't have seal at the moment because I ran out on that roll, and there's none other on my table. So I'm just going to put those guys there. So I put a bit of tape there. And then I would normally roll that up and stick it down. But they're too far apart. So I'll just manipulate that so that they're not so far apart. Turn that over. That's better. Okay. And I'm not going to cut that again, but what I am going to do, hold on a second. Grace! Grace! Just yell at the dog for licking her feet. If it's not the kids, it's the animals. That looks really cool, doesn't it? if I do say so myself. Okay, and we'll put some more dimensionals under that one. Again, I don't want them, so I need one up here, and I need one there. I don't want them where the ribbon is, because I want the ribbon to sit underneath them. Okay, so I'll take these ones off. Now, I don't have this stamp set, so the stamp set that coordinates with this designer series paper is so stinking cute, but there's only so much stuff that you can have. So I don't have that stamp set, but I've got heaps of others. But what I will be doing for my envelope, I am thinking that I might need to cut out some stockings. So there's quite a variety of stockings in this packet, and I'm thinking that I could put a stocking on the inside of my card, and or a strip of paper that matches, because it's got quite pretty backs on it. I really love the lights. So that is what I'm thinking I could do to make my paper pretty. Not my paper, my inside's pretty. Just for something, because I don't have a stamp to go in here. And a plain piece of white cardstock is not going to cut it. And neither's a plain envelope, because they just don't. Right, so that's not going to cut it. That needs something pretty. So, because these doggies are tangled in lights, they can have some lights. So I've got some lights. And I'm thinking I could just put a strip of lights down the side. Or about 1 centimetre to 1.5 centimetres of lights, because that's going to work. I've run out of things to throw at this dog here. Grace. Okay. Again, I would normally use my seal, but I don't have it. I need a replacement one. And I've cut it a bit too long, but that's okay. I am going to just have to snip it off, like so. And there we go. Piece up there. And a piece down there. Okay. So over the years I've collected many ribbons and trims, because I do like a bit of fibre. There's heaps to collect. There's heaps to use. You can use, there's so much on a roll, you could actually get away with sharing with a friend. Quite frequently in my classes I don't hand out whole rolls, I give thirds and quarters. My ladies coming this week are going to get this one because it's so pretty. But they're only going to get, there's like 9 metres on here, so they're going to get about 3 metres each as part of the class. So that's a good way to make it economic, is to get into a ribbon share, which there's a new catalogue coming up in January, which I'll be doing a ribbon share with. How pretty is that? I'll do the other inside for that one later. That's my 2 cards for today. But essentially I wanted to show you some different ways to use the ribbon, colour the ribbon, and the way I like to tie bows. Some people don't like bows, they just like knots. You can do this one the same way and just tie a knot instead. It's up to you. The ribbon's nice and soft. They all tie beautifully soft. Even this one here that you can see how it's a bit stiffer now that I've coloured it. But look how nicely would that have worked as well. And it all started because I ran out of colours for my scrapbook page. So if you hop on over to my blog, you'll see a separate post for these cards, but you'll also see all of these ribbons that I've used here. Okay, so this was, I'm not sure if you remember, we had the silver edged white ribbon, so that one was coloured with the Stampin' Blends. This was the spotty ribbon that I've coloured with the Stampin' Blends. There's a few pieces of that in all different colours. There's our crinkly one that I crinkled. Oh, do you remember that one? It was all stretchy. Okay, so there's we've had quite a variety of ribbons and trims and stuff across the ages, and like quite a different variety of flowers. A lot of those flowers are no longer current. I've got a vellum flower cut out from one of the dies in the background. So yeah, and it was all because we had flowers in our hair. Alrighty, well thank you once again for joining me. Here's my cards. Excuse my mess. And yeah, I'll catch up with you all later. Bye.